it started, bitch, it ain't no stopping. Go. Hoes jockin', hope they niggas ain't watching. Poppin' up if that money is the topic. Hey, and we.
Yeah, this is Fred with Inthedenwithfred. I'm here with
Brandy Flynn.
Miss Brandy. How life been treating you since the coronavirus been going on?
You know what? Life has been good. You know, with me working in mental health, people still need their mental health needs met, so I'm still available for my clients.
So do you think like the world take mental health like serious or what?
You know what? I think that it's taken serious when serious matters happen. Like the coronavirus, the quarantine that's going on, the disease itself, when there is a suicide or a horrendous homicide, but just like everyday life, there could be more talks about it. If that's the best way that I can say it.
So how long you been like doing like the counseling thing?
You know what? I've been in the field since 2002, but I've been working as a therapist since 2005. So, a long time.
They're like almost 2 decades.
You know what? Don't do that. But yeah, it is. It's a decade and a half. So that's what I give a take to say about it.
So you just like do athletes and couples or?
You know what? So, real talk, I do anybody who wants to see me, but my niche is athletes, those in the entertainment industry, public figures, because their life is so upfront and in the public that sometimes they don't feel that they can have their 100% privacy where they can be themselves, and it's hard for them to trust people. But, you know, I also see, you know, regular people individually, couples, whether they're dating, engaged, married, about to be divorced, you know. So, you know, anybody who's really and ready to do the work, that's who I see.
Yeah, also like I got your book, The Balancing Act.
Yes.
Just came out. So like in your book, like what details you like trying to like hit, like topics, like what you trying to hit?
Well, with the Balancing Act, it's basically helping the athlete learn how to balance their life in the world of sports. Because when you're, believe it or not, being an athlete is part of who the person is. But it's also about those areas that we may not deal with, like why are you an athlete? Who your real team players, not the people who you pass the ball to, but the people that you go home to. Dealing with your personal issues, because a lot of athletes have personal issues that they don't deal with, but a lot of times it's not addressed because they're such a great player, but it's dealt with when it hits the fan or when they're losing athletic ability. And so just want them to deal with it, and also, you know, teach them how to have a plan B, because we're not playing sports forever.
Right.
You know, there's not too many Kobe Bryant's left and Tom Brady's left. You know, you're in the game for 20 years. If you in a good 10 years, you good.
Right.
So that's the reason for the book.
Speaking of sports, what's your favorite team?
Football or basketball?
Both.
Okay. So my favorite football team, NFL football team, is the Philadelphia Eagles. And my favorite basketball team is the none other Los Angeles Lakers.
Why the Philadelphia Eagles?
Okay, so the reason why I chose the Philadelphia Eagles is because my favorite quarterback, which is Michael Vick, became an Eagles fan. And just with the situation that what happened with him with the dog fighting, which is another reason why I wrote the book, and how, you know, how he left the Falcons, because I wasn't a fan of the Falcons, I was a fan of Vic.
Right.
So when he started playing for the Eagles, I followed him and I started to enjoy the team. But when he left, I was just like, well, I've been a ride or die Eagles fan. I can't jump ship. So I got to stay.
Okay. And with the Lakers?
Again, I've always been a fan of the Lakers, but of course, in 1996, when Kobe Bean Bryant got drafted and got traded from the Hornets to the Lakers, I became a Laker fan. I have been a diehard Laker fan through the good times, the bad times, the ugly times, and even through now. That's how I became a Laker fan. I've been a strong Laker fan for 20 plus years.
Speaking of Kobe, like athletes that looked up to Kobe, how would you like reach out to them and ask them or tell them like give them advice about Kobe's death?
You know what? Kobe's death affected everybody. It affected me. Like yeah. I cried like that was my best friend. And with Kobe Bryant, being close to our age, because me and Kobe Bryant actually were the same age. I think we were just like a couple weeks apart. And, you know, you had so many people who wanted to be like him, who admired his work ethic. It was like Kobe Bryant. Either you loved him or you hate him. And even if you hated him because you secretly admired him.
Right.
And, you know, for athletes who felt some type of way with him passing away, I just say just to keep the memory alive, keep that Mamba mentality, you know, just because he always talked about the Mamba mentality, what it took for his work ethic, what he did. You know, I just say just continue that in everything that you do. That's how you keep his memory alive. Is that you work on yourself, you work on your work ethic. And Kobe wasn't perfect. You know, and he'll tell you that himself, but his work ethic, his game, it was above and beyond. And be the Kobe Bryant of your profession.
Right. I agree with that because Kobe, like you said, he inspired like millions.
Yes.
Not just athletes, like.
And all over the world. Like, his death affected everybody. Because what people don't know, you know, he lived in Italy. He had I think he was the owner of a soccer team. You know, he traveled different places. Like, he was very well known.
He was very big in China.
Exactly. You know, he knew different languages because I think at some game he was sitting on the sideline. This was when he retired. And he saw an athlete that was from another country. I can't think of the country, but he knew the language and he spoke. And the guy turned around like, "Who was that? You know, who know my language?"
Right.
And it was Kobe Bryant.
So, with your book, like, you supposed to have a coming out, like,
I'm
book party.
still going to have the coming out party. This is not a delay. I mean, it's not a now. It's just a delay.
So when do you think, like?
I don't know. Whenever the president, the governor, and the mayor says that we can go out, it's going to be 2 weeks afterwards. I'm going to let the first batch, you know, deal with it then when the dust settles.
Where can we find your book at?
You can find my book on my website, which is www.brandyjflynnCCS.com. And all books are autographed by me. There is no general message. Every message that I give is organic.
Also, I saw you do books also, but you would like come out and speak.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Actually, that's how the book started. The book was actually a presentation that I've done for college athletes at a couple schools. But I realized that I wasn't going to be able to make every school. So I was just like, well, let me make this into a book. And that's what I did. So I made it into a book, and I had a couple people to get the book. A couple coaches, athletic directors, team, you know, players, former professional players, that they got the book and they truly enjoyed it. And one of them asked me, so when's the next one? I was like, hold up. Well, let's get this one through first. So, but yeah. And there's more things that I want to do with it. Like, I do want to do an audio book because I know everybody doesn't have time to read.
Right.
And hopefully maybe I can make it to like a documentary, like how we're doing this video or whatever like that. So it's some big things that I want to do with it.
Okay. Well, I want to say thank you for having me come out and
thank
talk.
you for asking me to be here.
Thank you. Kind of slow, Corona going on.
Yeah.
Stay home.
Yes, and social distance. We Lysol each other. We don't Lysol each other again when we leave.
So I got my book today. You get your book. And Miss Brandy, anything else?
Hey, I just appreciate you guys just continuing to support me, get the book, and for you athletes that are watching this video, you know, I just say just during this time, just continue to work on your craft, continue to study the theories, you know, strengthening whatever things that you have been lacking, that you felt that you never had the time to deal with, this is the time to do it. And continue having dialogue with your coaches. Let your coaches know how you're doing, whether if it's good or bad. And, we just want y'all to have a great upcoming season.
That's it.
That's it.